okay, so Judgment Day has happened, and he's got through that first day. He's told Jane, "I'm not going to drink." It's a bit of a horrific moment because he didn't say it lightly. He knows he means it. Gets through the very wobbly first day, and then the next day happens.
Yes, well, that's right, and waking up without a hangover. I mean, I have to say, obviously, I've done that in my drinking. So I didn't, have a hangover. I didn't have a hangover every single day of my drinking life from 15 to the age of 50. That would be ridiculous to suggest that. But it was an amazing feeling to wake up having completed an entire day of not drinking, and not drinking by complete design. I mean, one of the phrases that you hear a lot in AA is "just for today."
Yeah.
It's a big mantra of AA, and I always took umbrage with that. I always have done and still do, for me, because what is the point of one day? I might as well drink if it's only going to be for one day. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's something. If it's worth doing, it's worth making a bit of a sacrifice. I did this thing to do it for the rest of my life. And I expect it to be a bit hard. It's not just for today. It really isn't. You don't learn piano, grade 8 piano in a day. It's a long time, and there's a lot of heartache gets involved, and a lot of ups and downs. And am I doing the right thing until you get to that stage? But presumably, when you are at grade 8 piano, it's worth it. And I felt that was the same with drinking. I wanted to give up, and it was worth a bit of a sacrifice. It's not just for today, but that's the closest I think I've come to realising the meaning of that, and appreciating the meaning of just for today. Because I got through the day, and that day was the hardest of all the 5 years that I've spent sober. Because day 2, waking up, I got this day under. I told Jane I wasn't drinking. I didn't have a hangover. I felt a bit thirsty. I'd had a bit of a sweaty night because I was getting a lot of toxins out of my body. But that was fine. I had a tiny bit of a head, and I thought, God, this is
smile on your face. You see the smile on his face.
I didn't care about any of that. I thought, this is great. I'm having a water and a coffee, and the two things are going to revive me. They're not going to make me feel sick and make me want to go back to bed in the way that a hangover does. Or breakfast makes you feel like, you feel you need it, but then it makes you feel terrible afterwards. These were things that this was fuel I was putting into my body, and I was feeling good. It was an amazing feeling.
So that's very quick, isn't it? I mean, and I think that thing about one day, just one day, but because of your own particular nature, which was that saying, you'd only said it once, which I'm going to stop drinking. You only said it the day before, so these are quite big. It wasn't like you were saying all the time and going back. You'd said it. You'd made a decision. You made that commitment. So that one, although that first day was really difficult, it was kind of like it was a big day. So day 2 was kind of, you were already starting to kind of smile a bit.
And as I said, although I'm talking about the physical effects of drinking coffee and having breakfast and talking about it as fuel. It was a big psychological difference. It was the psychological difference between being sober and having an ordinary sober day. This wasn't the same as not in my drinking days of waking up having not drunk at all the day before. I would, of course, I'd feel better and I'd have all those, but they wouldn't be. I would be thinking, oh well, I didn't have a drink yesterday. What time can I have a drink today? My mind would be on the next drink. I wouldn't be concentrating on the beauty of not having that. I would be aware I didn't have a hangover, and it might be a great feeling, but it wouldn't lead me to thinking, I want more of this. I'd be thinking, oh great, I can.
So you were in this sober world. And that was feeding you. That was inspiring you.
It really felt like a new fantasy, new world. It really did, and I was fascinated by it. Absolutely, I loved it. I didn't really understand it.
obviously people's experiences are different, and this is what we're trying to say. Obviously, this is Will's personal story, and not everyone's going to have the same responses, etc., etc., etc. But it's got, for me, it's inspiring and it's interesting that not only how Will got to this point, but the fact that you decide to stop. Okay, long time coming, yes, but decide to stop. The first day wobble, and then how quickly the whole concept of a new life, of a sober life, started to feed into you, and inspire you more, and give you so much. So, although it was a long time coming, 35 years of drinking, once you decided.
But that period of leading up to it was terribly useful because it meant I could go back over that when I because I did get at certain times of the day it was very difficult. So that second day, I did wake up in this new world and it was great. But 6 o'clock would come, and 6 o'clock in the evening would be aperitif time. I mean, there would always be the debate: should we open a bottle of wine now, or should we open a bottle of wine with dinner? There would be no question of not opening a bottle of wine. There's a very particular reason for not doing that. And now suddenly it wasn't going to be opened, and I knew it wasn't going to be opened. And so all that preparation I did up to that was really helpful because I went over it in my head. Hang on a minute, why am I doing this? Oh yeah, I know. It's because I've done it for so long and I'm bored of it now. I've done this, and there's nothing alcohol's got that can really teach me anything new that I haven't done. Oh yeah, and that and I know what will happen if I have one because it'll go straight back to where I was. So I'm on this new journey now. So this kind of became a sort of thing, and I'd go through this in my head, a bit like on these kind of dreams you have, the recurring thing. Oh yeah, that's why, and that's why. And that moment would then pass, that kind of moment of aperitif time. Oh, I don't want that. I poured a fizzy water. That sparkling water felt like my new drug. It was delivering this new thing to me.
Fantastic. So I wanted to highlight the fact that sort of, in a sense, mindfulness. We don't talk about mindfulness, but it's over talked about. But the week before, the few days before you stopped, you had this experience of okay, what does it taste like? Oh, it's boring. What is it? What am I hoping for? So you logged that. So that was a very useful period. Obviously, in these videos we've talked about your life and all the bits, the years of different things. But it's also quite very useful this specific week of awareness of the drinking, exactly what the analytical things, because that then supported you in the weeks after, where obviously it's like, oh, I'm not. This is it's 6 o'clock. I normally drink here. Okay, so what am I expecting, hoping for from a drink? I'm not going to drink. Well, so you kind of knew you'd been there. In a sense.
It didn't stop me from obsessing over other people drinking. I mean, I was aware of every sip of everybody else in a room, in a pub. I would double take people going to a bar. Oh, he's going to the loo. He's going to the bar. No, it's the optics. Wow. He's going to go, no, it's a pint. It's a pint of cider. And I'd see people sitting at a table, and they wouldn't be drinking very fast. I think, why are they drinking fast? I don't understand. Why are they drinking?
So it wasn't necessarily a problem. You were just very aware
of it. Why aren't they? I'm not allowed to do it. Why aren't they? They're allowed to do it. Why aren't they doing it?
Right.
It didn't seem fair. In a way. I've allowed you to have. Well, bloody have one then.
That's weird, isn't it?
And this was everywhere. I went on holiday.
It's a little bit weird.
I went on holiday with Jane, and it was about 2 months after I'd quit. So I was 2 months in, and I was the airport was a nightmare, absolutely, because I always drink at an airport. So I just was obsessed with the idea of people having a drink before a flight in a bar. I was obsessed when we got. I had a lovely holiday, but that first aperitif o'clock, 6 o'clock, was hell actually, because I was no way I was going to have a drink because I'd been 2 months sober. But I just thought, what do I do? What? And I quickly realised that when we went, as soon as we left the apartment we were in and we went for something to eat, everything was fine again. Absolutely fine, because we were going to have lovely food, and I could have all the food I wanted, and my fizzy water would be there. I felt great.
So you had to be aware of specific moments, specific places where the old habit
would rise up and face me straight away, saying, "You want one of these? Yes. You know, this is your drink time now."
Yes, and I must admit, as a therapist, this is something I would do with a client. It would be to work through those situations either in advance. You know, like okay, so where do you think, you know, like you say, the aperitif o'clock, 6 o'clock, okay, so that's going to be where you used to drink, okay, so you have to work through it a bit. So we have a bit of preparation, because sometimes some things are easier than others, like you say, if you go off for a meal, you know you're going to eat, it's going to be nice, that's easy. So it's kind of, being a bit of clued up about the difficult moments, the where these things kick in. Even though you know you're not going to drink, it's a challenge.
How are you going to
challenging?
Yeah, it's challenging. Yeah, definitely challenging.
And so that's sensible, isn't it? To have that self-awareness or support.
And I think if I hadn't had that preparation time, which I think you're right to say it's the equivalent of a bit of therapy. I think in a way, that was my therapy. Thinking back to leading up to to have that resource of being able to say, you know, done it all before. I know where it all leads. This is a new life I'm engaging in now. To have without that, I don't know whether I would have.
And it's interesting. You gave yourself all those things that maybe a book or a video or a therapist might say, you know, and you might think it's corny or an old hat or whatever, but you kind of gave yourself those suggestions, those ideas.
Yeah.
Fantastic.